Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Breakfast Central. I am Udoka Njoko. Now, going straight to the stories now, Nigerian European football governing body, UEFA, have confirmed that a minute's silence will be held at each of this week's European ties as a mark of respect for the victims of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. Many have been confirmed to have died after the high-magnitude earthquakes struck southern Turkey and northern Syria last Monday. And the United Nations Aid Agency on the ground says that toll is likely to double. Ahead of this week's knockout stage matches in the Champions League, Europa League and Europa Conference League games, UEFA confirmed the details of tributes to show support for those affected. A minute silence will be observed before every fixture across UEFA's club competitions this week, while a commemorative banner featuring the message, "We are together with you," will be displayed in Turkish and Arabic. The statement released by European football's governing body on Monday also confirmed black armbands could be worn at the discretion of teams and referees. And over to the English Premier League game played yesterday. It was Liverpool picking up a 2-0 win over Everton in the Merseyside derby. And for the La Liga, it was 3-2 for the away team. Real Sociedad defeating Espanyol in that one. And in the Italia Serie A, surprisingly, Inter Milan failed to find the back of the net as that game ended goalless. And that was against Sampdoria. And Verona defeated Salernitana by a 0-0. And today we'll see Champions League return to our screens as AC Milan will take on Tottenham Hotspur in the first leg fixture of the round of 16, while Paris Saint-Germain will go straight to taking on Bayern Munich, the German champions. And for PSG, we hear that Lionel Messi just might be missing in that game. Nothing confirmed yet, but Kylian Mbappe is back to training, but the coach has not confirmed if he will get to feature or not. But these are the games to look out for. AC Milan taking on Tottenham Hotspur. There's also PSG taking on German champions Bayern Munich. To the world of Formula One now, Fernando Alonso says he is convinced the Aston Martin team he has joined this year will become winners in Formula One in the future. Their 2023 car was launched on Monday at a new factory, which is due to be finished in the summer, with hopes of significant improvement this season. Alonso says he believes there was a possibility he could eventually win races and a third title with the team. The two-time champion, who is 41 and heading into his 20th Formula One season, said this project is very ambitious and has a lot of things to prove, and he knows his time is not unlimited behind the wheel, but he will try to make this process as short as possible and also help the team as much as he can. Aston Martin are in the midst of a structuring process started by owner Lawrence Stroll when he bought the team in 2020 that the billionaire Canadian businessman wants to end as champions. So look forward to the new Formula One season and see if Aston Martin and Fernando Alonso can actually get to win the title this year. And of course, for Lewis Hamilton with the Mercedes, also talking about the new Formula One season, hoping he can do way better than what he did last year, talking about 2022, where he couldn't get to win major titles in that one. So look forward to the new Formula One season. All right, that's a wrap on Sports Update on Breakfast Central. I am Udoka Njoko. Good morning, Olive. Good morning, Osarge. And happy Valentine's Day. I see you're having a touch of red.
I just looked now to see, where's your touch of red? Is that the color of your blood?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you very much, Udoka, for bringing us these sports stories.
Before you go, it might be a good time to once again ask if you think that the the elephant will fall from the tree.
Well,
Arsenal.
You know, talking about Arsenal's game so far, losing to Everton and playing that draw with Brentford, it will tell a lot at the end of the season, because if they don't get to win the title, these are the two key games that they will point and say, look, we could have actually gotten a better result in that one. But yes, on Wednesday, Arsenal will take on Manchester City. And if City gets to win that game, of course, the elephant will fall and City will go straight to the top of the table. And just so you know, it is not just between Arsenal and Manchester City. There's also a Manchester United in red-hot form. Yes, we must actually give them that accolade. They've been scoring goals, winning games back-to-back, and it looks like these guys are ready to actually contend for the title. So it's now a three-horse race: Arsenal, City, and of course, Manchester United. So if City gets to win Arsenal on Wednesday, then they will go second, and the City will go straight to the top. And you know, when City goes to the top of the league, of course, you know, it's quite almost impossible to let them down.
So if you look at Man City's performance so far and you look at their form this season, what would you say, we could be wrong, but from what it looks like, how much of a team or how much of a mountain will they be for Arsenal? Is this something that Arsenal has to be worried about?
Well, for the two of them, this is Arsenal's season to win or lose because they look like the team in top form because Manchester City have been quite inconsistent so far. And coupled with the fact that this FFP rules that they've been actually suffering, no verdict has been given yet. If they do give that verdict, I'm not sure it will happen this season. But fatigue, and I think teams are beginning to know how to play against the Manchester City. The last game, they didn't have Erling Haaland. And you could see they actually won that game convincingly. Yeah. So it looks like Erling Haaland, all balls for Erling Haaland is no longer working. And we also hear that he might miss that game against Arsenal on Wednesday. But looking at those three teams, City, United, and Arsenal, I would actually give United the best team because of the run of games so far. About 6 to 10 games, they've been on top form. So if there's any team that will contend for that title, I think Manchester United have what it takes to knock these two teams if they are not serious. United will actually have what it takes to knock them off the table.
I'm surprised you didn't start convulsing just
praising
Manchester United like that.
Come on, we need to say the truth where the truth is.
I expected that you would have started convulsing and falling off that chair. Well, I want to ask, where you think would be, like, do you think like Muriel Okunrola? What's that place called?
Muriel.
Yeah, Muriel Okunrola or like Tessin Balungu Square. Where do you think would be a big enough place to sit down in the middle and laugh when Arsenal doesn't win it?
Third Mainland Bridge.
Right in the middle.
Third Mainland Bridge.
Okay, and then I can jump into the water, right? All right, that's interesting. Also, your predictions, with Nigerians that are, doing amazing. We don't get to hear a lot about bobsled. It's not a sport that we know about in Nigeria. If you remember the movie, the Jamaican bobsled team from a couple of years, more than 10 years ago. That was, the first introduction that we had to, the sport.
Bobsled, yeah.
So let's talk briefly on Nigerians that are doing so well in other sports across the world. And of course, I would always mention Victor Osimhen because I really want to see him win this season.
He still scored a goal over the weekend for Napoli. He keeps banging those goals in Italy, and we look forward to more interesting times for these Nigerians playing football across Europe, and not just football now, also in other sports, in as much as in the UFC, those Nigerians actually falling apart, but they have what it takes to actually bounce back and become top shots again in the UFC. But for other sports, athletics and bobsleigh, as we particular, we look forward to the next Olympics and believing that, yes, we're not going there to want to win gold medal. It's participation and also hoping that a record will be broken in the next run of Olympic Games that will come. But for Nigerians all across Europe doing different sports, and not just Nigerians, now Africans actually, yes, because they are actually giving the best at representing Africa and giving back at what they've gotten in terms of support from their fans all over Africa. So we believe that these guys going forward, and remember in boxing, on the 1st of April, I hope it's not going to be an April Fool's Day for Anthony Joshua because he'll be fighting on that day, and I hope he doesn't get an April Fool's knockout.
Well, good luck to him. We're fully behind him, and of course, just to quickly also mention, two Nigerians did get to win the Super Bowl, a few days ago, and so congratulations to them also. Africans across the continent. Thank you very much, Udoka.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.